morning. The most news in the morning, period. Weekdays 6 Eastern.
New developments this morning in 13-year-old Daniel Hauser's battle with cancer. He's the Minnesota boy who went on the run, now scheduled to undergo court-ordered chemotherapy starting tomorrow. Last week, his mom fled with her son to Southern California. They were apparently seeking holistic treatments in Mexico. She did return home and has promised a judge she will comply with the doctor's treatment schedule for her son's Hodgkin's lymphoma. Now, although a cure can be long and painful, the American Cancer Society is reporting this morning that cancer death rates have fallen again and are now down dramatically since the early 1990s. CNN chief medical correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta had a look at Daniel's latest medical report. He joins us now. There has been talk that this cancer has gotten worse. What did you find out?
Well, we found that out exactly, Karen. His cancer seems to have gotten worse, both in terms of his scans that he's had, as well as in terms of how he's reporting his symptoms. We're talking about Hodgkin's lymphoma, as you know, Karen. Let me just show you something here. This is a chest X-ray. What they're focusing on specifically is a mass. It's located in part of his chest over here in one of the lung fields. This is where the trachea and the esophagus come down. When you have a mass here, it starts to push on his trachea, and that can make his breathing very, very difficult. Doctor's describing it as maybe breathing like you're breathing through a straw. That's how it's becoming for him. He's also describing a higher degree of pain. 10 out of 10 is what he told his doctors. When we're talking about Hodgkin's lymphoma overall, this green over here is the lymphatic system. We sort of zoom in and look at these specific cells over here. They're called Reed-Sternberg cells. They start to divide. That's the problem. When they're dividing, they eventually will divide enough to form a mass, a tumor. As you can see here, that tumor within the lymphatic system, that is the problem. That tumor can start to grow. These are the various symptoms. You get those swollen lymph nodes. You get unexplained weight loss, night sweats, you get fevers, lack of energy overall. These are the sort of symptoms that someone with Hodgkin's lymphoma would have. This is what he's experiencing. The good news is, as you mentioned, Karen, that chemotherapy can be very good with Hodgkin's. It's going to be a little bit tough to say since he skipped so many doses, Karen.
Right. So is it almost like being treated for the first time now since it's sort of progressed to this point? Is he going to be able to get relief, and how treatable is it now?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I think that's exactly how doctors will probably approach this. You can think of chemotherapy in some ways that you can think of antibiotics. If you start one dose of antibiotics and you stop, it's almost worse than never having started at all. It's the same thing with chemotherapy. You sort of select those cells that don't respond to chemotherapy and allow them to divide, making it tougher to kill the cancer. So they're going to have to start all over again. As far as his symptoms, as far as getting relief from that, they're starting him on a steroid medication as well, known as prednisone. It may be that prednisone that offers him the best relief in the long run in terms of shrinking those tumors. But he's got to be on the chemo. And what we're hearing, Kieran, as you're hearing as well, is that he's going to start that tomorrow.
The thing that's so difficult about this is both with the steroids, the type of side effects that you get with that, and also the side effects from chemo will probably make him feel worse right at the beginning. And so, and this is what is so troubling for the family, is that they are very against this in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough treatment, Kieran. You're absolutely right. You can get these mouth sores, you get nausea and vomiting. He's going to feel awful for the first several days. He says he has 10 out of 10 pain. You're going to compound that with these other symptoms. So you're right, but the payoff, as everyone seems to think here, is worth it.